Good day to everyone. So my name is Yugendran Armugam. My matrix card number is 10D8322F2001. Here I want to give an introduction about our case study, which is in the context of auditing PFC Holdings, Malaysia BHT, a diversified corporation with operations spanning fast food services, poultry farming, food processing, and international trade. The role of the principal auditor, Allen & Co., is pivotal in ensuring the integrity of the consolidated financial statements. Furthermore, given the involvement of component auditors such as Chan & Co., the completely of the group operation and adherence to the international standards on auditing is essential. International Standards on Auditing 600 provides guidance on the special consideration in audits of group financial statements, particularly when component auditor are involved, emphasizing on principal auditor and responsibility to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Additionally, international standards and on auditing 620 outlines the auditor responsibilities when using the work of an expert, ensuring that such work is adequately evaluated and integrated into the audit process. Thank you. The first question, which is propose the procedures that must be performed by Allen & Co. relation to Chan & Co. before accepting the appointment as the group principal auditor. Before accepting the appointment as the principal auditor of PFC Holdings Malaysia BHT, Allen & Co. must perform several key procedures in relation to Chan & Co. auditor of the subsidiaries. Furthermore, as the group audit involves reliance on another auditor's work, Allen & Co. must first assess whether Chan & Co. possess the necessary professional competence, including relevant industry experience in areas such as food processing, cooperative farming, and manufacturing, as well as compliance with applicable international standards on auditing or local standards. Additionally, Allen & Co. must evaluate the independence and ethical conduct of Chan & Co. to ensure their audit work is free from bias or conflict of interest. They should also obtain an understanding of the scope and quality of the audit work carried out by Chan & Co., ensuring that it aligns with the group audit requirements, and confirm whether sufficient and appropriate audit evidence can be obtained from their work. Effective communication must be established to clarify expectations regarding reporting timelines and the need for the access to audit documentation. Moreover, these procedures are critical because as the principal auditor, Allen & Co. will ultimately be responsible for expressing an opinion on the group financial statements, and any deficiency in Chan & Co. audit could compromise the reliability of the consolidated financial report. Therefore, a true evaluation of Chan & Co. is essential to determine whether Allen & Co. can accept the audit engagement with confidence and comply with auditing standards such as International Standards on Auditing 600. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Luqman Hakim bin Kamaruddin. My matric card number is 10D8022F2012. As the principal auditor of PFC Holding, Malaysia Berhad and Allen Co. must perform comprehensive planning and risk assessment produced to determine the appropriate scope of the group audit. This includes obtaining a true understanding of the group structure, including its subsidiaries involved in diverse and high-risk activities such as poultry farming, food manufacturing, bakery operation, and international trade. Moreover, Allen & Co. must identify significant component subsidiaries of business units that are financially significant to the group or pose significant risk due to the complexity, size, and susceptibility susceptibility to fraud or error. Based on the risk assessment, Allen and Co will determine the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures to to the perform to be performed either by themselves or by the component auditor Chan and Co. Furthermore, particularly attention should be given to risk arising from operations across different geographical locations, compliance with multiple regulations, industries with biological assets, example, poultry farms, inventory valuation complexities, and fraud safety requirements. Additionally, Allen and Co must assess any group level risk such as centralized controls, related party transaction, or transfer pricing issue that could impact the consolidated financial statement. Proper planning also includes setting material materiality level for both the group and its components, and deciding the level of involvement with Chan and Co, including reviewing their audit work or performing additional performing additional procedures where necessary. Ultimately, risk-based planning ensures that Allen and Co can obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to support the group audit option in accordance with international standard on auditing 600. C. As the principal auditor of PFC Holding, Malaysia and Allen Co holds ultimate responsibility for the audit opinion on the consolidated financial statements, even when component auditors like Chan and Co are involved. In addition, according to the International Standard on Auditing 600, Allen and Co must plan and perform in the group audit to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information to the components and the consolidated of express on opinion on the group financial statements. Moreover, key responsibility include evaluating the competence and independence of component auditors, determining the nature, timing, extent or audit procedures for component, and being involved in the work of component auditor to the extent necessary to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Allen and Co must also assess the risk of material misstatements in the group financial statements, including those due to fraud, and design the perform further audit procedures responsive to those risks. Furthermore, Allen and Co is responsible for the direction, supervision, and performance of the engagement group audit engagement, including the work of component auditors to ensure that the audit is conducted in accordance with international standard in auditing. Moreover, this involves ongoing communication with component auditors, reviewing their work and evaluating whether their findings affect the work audit opinion. The Allen and Co must exercise professional judgment and skepticism throughout the group audit, ensuring that all components are appropriately considered and that the consolidated financial statements present a true and fair view in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework.
Hi, my name is Srivarman Sanna Mudusamy. My meticulous number is 10 DAT22F002. I am from class DAT5A. Now I want to explain question D and question E. The question D. verified possible related parties for the company. The answer is in accordance with the International Standard on Auditing 600 and 620, Allen and Cho, as the principal auditor for PFC Holdings Malaysia Berhad, must ensure that all related parties are appropriately identified and disclosed in the considered financial statement. Furthermore, this involves in obtaining the list of related parties and prepared by the group management and any other related parties for which is the group engagement teams is aware. The group engagement team shall request the component auditor to communicate on the timely basis related to parties not previously identified by a group management or group engagement teams. Furthermore, all NGO must evaluate the adequacy of the component auditors work considering related parties transaction. Balance consider the competence and independence of the component auditor as outlined in the International Standard on Auditing 620. This evaluation ensures that sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is obtained regarding related party transaction balance in the group financial statement. In addition, Allen and Joe must exercise the professionalism and skepticism put at the group audit and ensure that all components are appropriately considered that the considered financial statement present true and fair view in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. Now, I want to explain the question E. The question E is verify the work of an expert or specialist to help the auditor to form an opinion. The answer is according to International Standard on Auditing 600 and 620, Allen and Cho as the principal auditor for PFC Holdings Malaysian Berhad must verify the work of any expert or specialist used to assist in forming an audit opinion on the consolidated financial statement. In addition, International Standard on Auditing 600 emphasized that the principal auditor is responsible for all the audit opinion and must obtain the sufficient applied the audit evidence regarding the financial information of components and the consolidation process. However, if expertise in the field other than accounting or auditing is necessary, the International Standard on Auditing 620 requires the auditor to determine whether to use the work of an auditor expert and to evaluate the adequacy of the work for the audit purpose. In this context, Alan Joe must assess whether the work of any expert or specialist, such as a valuation expert or for biologies, asset or inventory and necessaries to obtain sufficient applied audit evidence. If such expertise is required, Allen and Joe must evaluate the capabilities, competence, and objectivity of the expert and determine the adequacy of their work. This includes reviewing the relevance and reasonableness of the expert findings, assumption method, and the completeness and accuracy of the data used. Moreover, if the work of the expert is deemed inadequate, Allen and Cho must perform additionally audit procedure or agree with the expert on further work to be performed. By following this procedure, Allen and Cho ensure that use the expert and or specialist does not diminish their responsibility for the audit opinion that sufficient apparent audited evidence is obtained to support the opinion on the considered financial statement.
Okay, so in conclusion, the audit of the PFC Holdings Malaysia BHT consolidated financial statement necessitates a comprehensive approach by Allen and Co, encompassing the evaluation of component auditor work and the integration of expert contributions. In addition, by rigorously applying the principle of International Standards on Auditing 600 and International Standards on Auditing 620, and Allen and Co can effectively navigate the complexity of the group audit, ensuring that all components are appropriately considered and that the consolidated financial statement present a true and fair view. Furthermore, this approach not only upholds the quality and reliability of the audit but also reinforces stakeholder confidence in the financial reporting of PFC Holdings Malaysia BHT. Thank you, and that's for me.